call the meeting of the Huntington Township Board of Supervisors to order. Roxy Sabo will be taking minutes tonight as the secretary is absent. And I ask you to join me in the pledge of allegiance. Thank you. Public comment on agenda items? Yes?
I noticed on this agenda they keep getting worse as far as there's really no description as far as old business, ADA accommodation, Bethany. Bethany what? What is that about? And also new business, Narima truck, no defining term for that. So I looked online to make sure that I was correct in assuming that you are supposed to have detailed agendas so that the public, when they look at it, they know, well, oh, I want to go to that meeting because they're going to be discussing this about that subject. And unfortunately, these agendas do not comply with that. So the Pennsylvania News Media Association put out a legal hotline, Sunshine Act Agenda Detail and Amendments. The question was, the Sunshine Act requires agencies to provide agendas in advance of public meetings, but some local agencies are providing agendas that list generic or all-encompassing subjects that have little meaning. Can they do that? So the Sunshine Act requires agencies to provide meeting agendas in advance of and during public meetings. This law was enacted to promote government transparency and foster public attendance and participation at public meetings, and to accomplish that goal, detailed, specific agenda items are necessary. They go on to discuss the original act, etc. The law does not explicitly define the level of detail required to appear on an agenda, but the letter and intent of the law makes clear that agenda items must provide meaningful information that enables the public to understand the specific issues that will be discussed or acted upon. Generic or overly broad agenda items would not be consistent with the law. Moreover, the Office of Open Records has taken the position that agencies should avoid general cryptic terms and provide as many specific concrete details as possible. There's also amendments, there's House bills that are going through on this last minute agenda items. They're doing away with that because of issues. So the Sunshine Act agenda amendments are intended to encourage public attendance and participation at public meetings and to foster better understanding of an agency's deliberations and decisions. These changes improve public access for Pennsylvanians generally and for members of the media who regularly attend and report on public meetings in the communities they serve. By providing detailed agendas in advance, the law furthers public knowledge about anticipated agency discussions and official action before public meetings, while limiting an agency's ability to make significant decisions without prior notice to the public. For these reasons, agendas should be specific and provide meaningful information about the issues that will be discussed and acted upon. And our agendas do not. And it is the responsibility of Salzman and Hughes and the attorneys that come here to these meetings to make sure that you're all in compliance with the Sunshine Act and the open meetings. And they have failed in that regard. I don't know what it is, but the secretary, a third grader could do a better agenda. I don't know whether it's laziness or incompetence, maybe both.
Thank you. Anyone else? Moving on, approve the minutes of the last meeting. Anybody have anything they want to say about that? If not, I make a motion we accept the minutes as written. Is there a second?
I will second it.
Been moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill list circulated. Any questions on the bill list?
I have none.
I have none.
Excuse me,
Do I have a
please.
motion for the bill list?
I'll make that motion, we accept the bill list as stated.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Been moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
I have a question on the bill list, but I didn't know if I should ask the question with the agenda thing or when the bill list came up. In any case, the Pennsylvania Township Health Insurance Part 2 is $24,000. Part 2 is your insurance for the health insurance, $50,000 a year.
Evidently,
For how
For-
many employees?
For the employees and for anybody that we,
Anybody that you hire?
well, if we,
Yeah,
yeah. We have to
part-time
have
people?
liability.
Part-time? Full-time?
No,
Just
no.
full-time?
full-time.
That seems awfully high. For part 2.
financial report. Any questions on the financial report? Not, I make a motion, we accept the financial report. Is there a second?
I will second it.
Been moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Roadmaster's report.
Yeah, we finished our second mowing. We took 2 trees down on Rolling Road that were bad. We took another tree down up on Torway Road. We did our tar and chip, and that's about all I have.
Thank you.
Well, I think the tar and chip looks great.
Yeah, they did a good
And
job.
thank you for mowing my,
Thank you, thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Supervisors have anything?
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
I have nothing. Zoning officer and engineers report.
8 permits were issued in June, 1 for a single family, 1 for an addition, 2 pole buildings, a greenhouse and a deck. Also, 2 grading and EMS plans are being reviewed for single family homes. There's a zoning variance coming up for July 15th for 300 Mud Run Road regarding subdivision lot size. June 19th, I received a complaint for a property on Tammy Drive. They were building without a permit, so I visited the site and spoke with the contractor. Issued him a citation letter and got him to submit a building permit, and that building permit was approved and submitted back to him. Last month, I talked about the noise complaint at York Springs Social Hall, that investigation's ongoing. I also talked about a drainage complaint on Carlisle Pike, working with John Stambaugh, the engineer for the other township, that's ongoing. Street and sidewalk ordinance that you asked me to take back to the planning commission, that's ongoing. Zoning ordinance update is ongoing, and there are no subdivision and land development plans under review.
Could you clarify for me how many new single home permits you issued this month?
One
1?
single family house.
Thank you.
We'll move on to old business and turn it over to Bethany.
So next I'm going to be providing an update regarding the ADA accommodations request that was received by the
Could you
town.
speak up?
Next, I am providing an update regarding the ADA accommodations request that was submitted to the township a few months ago. So the township has been exploring various options. We got a quote from the sound engineer, AV Solutions, to install a hearing assistance system with ear loops. It's for almost $2,700. That is still a bit expensive, so the township has decided to first make some adjustments to the room. I'm sure everyone has noticed. So it appears that the table was moved forward, so it's closer to the audience. So we're hoping that can help some, and also before, some people were seated, facing away from the audience, and I'm sure that created some issues with hearing. So we're hoping that this can help a bit. We just first want to try these small adjustments to see if that works. of course, we invite, any feedback you have. If someone's still having trouble hearing, we want to know. Because if not, then we will be exploring the other options. That could be the AV solutions, the sound engineers system that they quoted for. Also, we were looking at, potentially purchasing a speaker and mic system. Attorney King and I were looking online. We saw that there are some options for a few $100s. But first, we want to see if this new, this new seating organization, if that helps. If not, of course, we want to know. So then, at the next meeting, that the other options can be considered and discussed.
I just want to say, I still can't hear the engineer.
Okay.
I understand what he's saying. He doesn't speak loudly, and I think on our, ask the public to speak, please speak clearly. I would like for the board and those employees to maybe do the same for us. I have a terrible hearing disability also. I have tinnitus and all that.
Yeah.
Buzzing in
okay.
your ears causes you not to be able to hear people clearly. If they speak up, talk clearly, maybe it would help having turned the tables around. I once sat right up in the front one meeting, right next to the engineer, and I could not hear a word he was saying. I don't know. I have to say, the only person I hear clearly is the roadmaster. He's the only one that raises his voice like he's speaking in public. If you take a job where you're on a board and you're speaking to the public, you have to speak loudly and clearly. That's all I'm saying. Just be
The feedback,
accommodating for those who have hearing problems.
The feedback's appreciated. It's good to know. So yeah, we'll see if the small adjustment, the table's closer. Of course, encourage anyone to say, upfront if possible. And then, this meeting and the next few meetings, if this doesn't work. So, today's supervisors meeting, next couple meetings this month after this, if things aren't improving, with that feedback you guys provided and with the new seating, then at the next meeting, supervisors should be considering those other options, whether it's that new sound system, that's $2,700, or the speaker and mic system, which we're not quite sure yet about that one, and whether, the only concern is whether there could be feedback with, our live stream or other people who are recording. We don't want that. So yeah, those other options will be considered that this doesn't work.
Okay, as the person who put in the accommodation request, I'd like to know what comes first. Is it the ability of people who attend these meetings, or is it for your live stream? People with disabilities that come to this meeting have a right to effective communication. And this is now, April 9th was when I put my letter in. It's now 3 months later and you're still investigating. And you're changing the room around because Mr. Diller indicated, oh, well, maybe if they sit up in the front, we'll be able to hear. I'm not the only one. This woman behind me has complained that she can't hear people. And I realize the cost is very prohibitive for this, but you have to do what you have to do. And I'm going to reiterate, as I've stated at a previous meetings, and in particular at the March Board of Supervisors meeting, I have a hearing impairment, which impacts my ability to hear many of the speakers and those giving reports at the township public meetings. I am therefore requesting ADA accommodation and request that microphones, any speaker system be installed and utilized at all township meetings and hearings. This would benefit everyone. And if you get something that does not actually improve that, are you going to waste more money coming back when we have issues? I don't understand what you're investigating, how much more investigating you have to do to comply with the ADAs.
Well, the law requires that we, of course, engage in that interactive process, and we can try different solutions. Of course, if this doesn't work, then yes, at the next meeting.
Well, moving tables around I don't think that's an ADA accommodation.
Accommodation can be anything under the law, anything that could potentially assist the person
Okay,
to
you're just
have
dragging.
access to that resource,
Mhm.
you know? So, I mean, the supervisor's staying all the way back there, we have people who are sitting there, who are facing away from the audience, I mean, that, you know, probably didn't help the situation, so if this isn't working, then that's good to know, and at the next meeting, we should be discussing which option we want to purchase, or, you know,
So what are the options so far that you've done?
we have the AV Solutions quote for the new sound system, or the, you know, the hearing assistance system that would come with ear loops and everything, and then also the speaker and mic system. So, I mean, that's the two options we have now.
My opinion is it would be nice if some of the tax dollars that we supply, as residents of this township supply to this township, would be used to help the residents here. Just a thought, maybe. I don't see any benefits the residents get. I don't live on a township road, I live on a state road in the township, so I don't get the benefit of any of the road maintenance from my tax dollars. But it would just be nice if there was a little bit more to benefit us. There's never anything done in this township to benefit the residents here. They take care of the roads, that's about it. You ask a question, they can't answer a question. They don't want to answer a question here. That's not, I just think it's disgusting that they don't even want to answer questions here at this township. Okay, I mean, we get nothing out of our tax dollars here. Right, maybe those on the township roads get their roads taken care of, but that's about it. The state takes care of my road.
Yeah, thank you for your comment again.
Thank you for your comments. New business is Narema truck, and that was brought up at the last Narema meeting, that within 30 days, each township had to decide whether they were going to be a part of the Tyrone Township Emergency Management Truck. And I will make a motion that Huntington Township does not go along with the operation of the Tyrone Township truck.
I will second that.
Been moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
I'd like to know the reasons for that, please. Why
We
you
don't think it's
decided against that.
necessary.
Excuse me?
We don't think it's necessary.
And they never really had a firm plan on how much it was gonna cost each township. And you don't enter into an agreement not knowing what you're gonna have to spend.
So it has nothing to do with the memorandum of understanding that indicated that, I believe it was $10 million worth of liability insurance that our township would have to purchase? Was that any part of that decision?
No.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay. I'm glad we record these meetings in arena meetings.
Upcoming meetings, planning commission meeting.
Paul, who seconded that?
I did.
Ron,
Ron.
Ron, thank you.
Planning commission meeting will be July the 27th.
You can do this one.
The next supervisors meeting will be Thursday, August 13th. The next Narema meeting is September the 9th. And the zoning hearing meeting for 300 Mud Run Road will be July the 15th here at 7 p.m. Public comment. Seeing none, I make a motion the meeting be adjourned. Is there a second?
I second it.
Been moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.